Ooh, yo, 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 what's happening? Mm-mm-mm. How y'all enjoying this nice hot Tuesday? It's hot as a bitch today, boy. I swear to God, I was outside doing some yard work. Fuck that. That's some bullshit, boy. Zo in, tap him in. How everybody doing, man? Hope y'all had a good day, man. Hot as fuck. What's happening?
What up? What up, cuz?
What's the deal with it?
Shit, man, I heard you talk about some yard work. I'm glad you still alive, nigga.
I'm outside in that fucking heat, bro. That shit, boy. I started to cut down this bush. And how's my audio? Is it straight?
Oh, yeah, you good.
All right, perfect. But no, man, I started to cut down this damn bush today. And instead of me doing it in the morning, that's what I'm gonna start doing. Is tackling shit in the morning. And then, later on in the afternoon or whatever, do some other things. But man, I went out there this afternoon, dog. And man, I was like, whew, all right, I know it's already hot. So I'm like, all right, at least I can get a couple branches down. But using that new tool, I'm just
You got Clipper happy.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Got mega clipper happy, dog. Start cutting them damn bushes down, limb by limb, and shit. Ended up cutting that whole bitch down. But how it's cut like to where like if you want to put like some little LED lights around that shit, you know what I'm saying? You can do that, but it ain't got no bushes, no limbs and no shit like that. It's bare.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
You know, bro.
Hey, man, I'm great, dog. I can't complain, man. I'm blessed. That's
Mm,
all I can say, man. I'm blessed. I'm good.
hey,
Uh,
ground is a blessing, man. Shit. Oh,
yeah,
thanks.
yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. You tapped Nay in.
Yeah, find her in here. Let me send this request on in.
What's up? For the people that didn't join in, welcome to Uncomfortable Conversations. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We about to get started.
About to get it in. What's happening, B?
Yeah, man.
Fun. What's happening?
Yeah.
Got great. What's happening? How y'all doing today? How y'all feeling? Hope y'all feeling good. Give us some likes in there. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button for us.
Yeah, man. We feeling great. Everybody alive. Everybody enjoying the summer so far.
If
So
they
yeah, let's get to it, man. So yeah, what's been going on that's been disturbing you lately, cuz?
It's been disturbing me, really. Disturbing me. Basically, me being my mom's power of attorney. Um, you got the elders, you got some elders. I'm not gonna say no names, family shit, but
Right.
some of them has just been, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, and chirping all in your ear and back and forth, man. That's been a little annoying in my opinion, but other than that, not much, dude. I've just been doing some self-reflecting within me. I'm just trying to focus on different things I got, planned, as far as development. But man, just the chirp with the dealing with my mom's situation, man. It's creeping to a point where I got to start making like more moves, like selling things and getting rid of appliances and all of that nature. So it's like, all right, so I'm planning that in my head, and then you got your uncles and cousins and
Yeah.
all it just talking like shut the fuck up. But yeah, dog, other than that, man, I'm straight, bro. How about you, dude? Anything, and
Yeah, I'm good, man. You already know my situation with my mom. We ain't even gotta get into it.
mm,
But however, we can go ahead and start the topic going, man. The first one at least, and it's about absent mothers, man. You know, a lot of people have experienced mothers being there, and being absent and literally being ghost as well. So I wanted to touch on that. You know, we had a couple of people. Our last guest actually suggested this topic, and I think it'd be dope because a lot of people always speak on the father's missing. You rarely hear about the mother's missing. So I thought this would be great, man. You know. So yeah, have you ever experienced that, or not even experienced it yourself, but have you ever witnessed that with anybody else, as far as somebody having an absent mother?
Oh yeah. You know, you got your couple of chicks in the. I've watched a lot of. Oh my god. You know, I've seen things where kids was just wandering out in the street. You know, I'm from Highland Park, so man, chicks just wandering out, your kids just wandering out in the street basically, and you in the house just getting high, or you hanging with homies down in the street, and because everybody's outside, you're not even pretty much taming to your kids, even though you have possession of them. See, absent mothers can be a little different. Uh, you know, they can still have the child but still be absent. You know, most mothers, some the good ones, they work. You know, some have to work doubles and all of that, so they absent, so they're not around to be with the kid, but they're still with the kid in a sense to raise them and give them guidance in that nature. But
Right.
the ones that just don't give a fuck and they just care about any nigga that's in their face, and that's all they want to focus on, and whatever their kid is going through, they just, hey, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? You can be present and absent at the same fucking time. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think with mothers, in my opinion, that's a lot of it with them. They're present, but they're absent. Not all. I'm just speaking of the ones that are absent and the ones that I witnessed and know. But hell yeah, dog, I've witnessed that shit a lot in my neighborhood, bro. You've seen some mothers that's what I had mentioned, and they kind of gave me pushback when I said there aren't. We got to come to grips with there's some ain't shit mothers. And I know some. That's why I said that statement, is because I know some ain't shit moms. Like, I know some moms that, like I mentioned, just letting their kids just all out on the street. Kids ain't even clean, diapers all full, and they just don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so yeah, dog, it's a different thing with mothers and fathers when it comes to absence.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. You know, I haven't really witnessed too many people like go through the whole process of being without their mother. However, on a personal aspect, I have, because I witnessed my mom be there and her be gone. You know, like one minute, she there, she cooking, she showing me how to do stuff. Next minute, she ghosts because of whatever reason, whatever dude, and all of a sudden, I'm left by myself to fend for myself, which is cool, but it's not at the same time, because if you didn't give me all the tools that I needed to be solo dolo, then how you expect me to survive being independent? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I had a big problem with that as I got older and realized the damage that had done. But I mean, obviously, I grew out of it. I've gotten better, but going through that process, knowing that I didn't have to go through it,
Mm-hmm.
it a sore spot somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really believe that mothers need to be um, more present, not even just in the physical, but also in the mental. Pay attention to your kids. Let
Mm-hmm.
sure you realize, hey, it's something wrong, and I know something wrong. Let me see what the problem is, instead of chasing after some dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. Like, women, they are the gatekeepers of sex, which means they can get it whenever they feel like it. So I don't see how any woman can get blinded by that. Or actually, no, let me rephrase that. I don't see how any strong-minded woman can get blinded by a man in his peace. Like, that's just ridiculous to me. You know what I mean?
I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying, and I feel you. Some women just, they just have that desire of companions. They just want somebody to be around. They need somebody to be around. That's some women. But some women have that independency. I don't need no man. But yeah, some women just need to be around some men, even if they're somebody else's man. They need it.
Yeah.
And like I was there in the gym, nigga. I used to be at the crib all the time with you, man. On Stansbury, Hartfield, all that, nigga. We used to just run around and do what we want. We was outside, in and out, riding bikes. You know what I'm saying? It's getting late, knowing it's supposed to be in the crib, but shit, we doing whatever the fuck we want to do. We got this whole house.
Right.
Who gonna stop us?
Right.
So I understand, bro. It's sad. It's definitely sad. Um, I think a lot of mothers should be, those mothers who are absent and who do pay attention to or just entertain men or just not around their kids enough. It scars us. And that's gonna lead off into our next topic, but that's gonna come in a minute. But we just got a lot of, things we gotta do better as parents. And one of them is being present, for sure.
Yeah.
Absent, like, dude, that shit is not cool, and you're gonna cause a lot of trauma within your kids. It's like a lot of men. Like, we was born, well, not born, but mostly raised, single parent household. Mine was like half. I had both of my parents. They was together for about 11 years. Then after that, it was the rest just me and my mom's. So it's kind of different, man. You can get away with a lot of shit, but we get put in these positions where we gotta, raise ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And that can go left. You see how that can go left.
it was left, and this is what I'm alluding to. Like all those effects. Like these kids are at a situation where you turn to the streets, turn to whatever influence is out there. Either positive and negative. You get both ends of the spectrum. These are the downfalls of it by being an absent mother. You got to understand, man, mothers are key, in my opinion. Fathers are key too. But if the parent, like as far as the mother is concerned, like if the mother is not right mentally and she's not physically on her shit, mentally on her shit, that's going to affect the kids drastically.
Absolutely.
Drastically, bro. If you have a mom that's just really not in her shit, them kids is, and it ain't even gonna matter if the father is okay, because the father is not there at all. Period. He's not in the home. He's gone. He's the weekend dad or whenever you see him. So
Right.
when you got a mom who's not doing her shit or not just there mentally and physically and all of that, you have
Like, everything falling apart anyway.
yeah, lose from there.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. And the crazy part is growing up with my mom, because I didn't have my dad growing up. So with her just being there, she, it was like, oh, I don't want you to get into the streets. I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do that. You sitting up here trying to protect me from stuff that I'm gonna probably experience anyway. But at the same time, you're not giving me any explanation as to why I shouldn't be involved with it, other than jail. You're not going through you're not explaining anything. Like parents, not even just parents. I'm gonna say moms. Mothers have to get better with communication. You can't just say, hey, you can't do that just because I said so. Start saying, this is why you shouldn't do this. I got a lot of oh, you can't do it because I said so. No, because that's not enticing me to say, hey, you know what? Maybe I should just listen to what my mom said, even though she didn't explain nothing behind it. She had no explanation behind it. No, that's not gonna cut it.
It's not gonna work. No, why? Because you have the thing called curiosity. You're gonna be curious when you got a person or you have people continuously telling you not to do something. Don't do this. 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 You're gonna be curious. So why not? Now, certain things you're gonna be like, oh hell no, I ain't trying that, like crack and heroin and all of that, because you affect you like, oh hell no, fuck that, nigga. I stick to the weed and
Right.
that's. But the certain things like just life situations, like relationships and things like that, man, you're gonna be like, well, why not? Or why not go indulge and have fun. I mean, you got to have your little stories to tell. You got to push it to the limit sometimes. And then sometimes it's, youngins, we just got to learn the hard way.
Right.
Telling us just jail, that's it. Well, why don't you give us an outlet? Why don't you put us in some programs? Why don't you feed into what I'm interested in? All right, son, you like to do this? Okay, well, let me feed into this and get you in this program so that can keep me out the streets while you're gone doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Right, exactly. Chocolate 81 Drop said sometimes it makes you stronger than struggles. I totally agree. Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate the struggle, but the problem is that I didn't have to struggle like that, and that's where my gripe comes in. You know, I'm all for a struggle that builds character and make you stronger, all that good stuff. I'm with it, but when you growing up in a one parent household, I'm not saying they gotta be perfect, but they need to be better than average. I should say that. They gotta be better than average. Because at that point, I'm not getting I'm not getting just my dad's side of anything because he's not there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting your side. So if your side is vague, you're not really doing me any favors. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? So you can't. You gotta be very verbal and express things the right way. Even if you gotta be like ridiculously, brutally honest about it. Do that. I'll appreciate that more. I might not understand it at the time, but it'll hit me quicker than what it did later on in life. So that's where I feel like mom should really have it more together. I know for a fact if I grew up with my dad being around, I would still be looking towards my mom more because my dad. One thing I know about my dad, he was a hustling person. He hustled. You know what I'm saying? The man know how to build a car from the ground up. So he would have been busy regardless. He probably wouldn't have been around like that until it was damn near my bedtime because he was so on the move, so on the hustle. So I still would have had to been able to look to her like, hey, mom, yada yada. And here it is, you got nothing for me. So
I feel you. And I think, but still, though, I think, honestly, I think our lives would be a lot different if our parents had been together all the way through, from childbirth to 18. I don't see these guys. I think we'd be a whole lot different.
I guarantee it'd have been a lot different. Guarantee. I guarantee. Let me get to one of these comments. Shahina said, "A mother's job is to protect. Only you know what you went through 100%, carrying that baby. So why fall back when it comes to their well being?" I agree. I agree. But see, that's coming from a strong woman's mindset.
Right? That's coming.
Yeah,
Gives a fuck about their kids. Got these women who just have children and then you know what, I gotta still live my life. My life is not over because I have these kids. I love my kids, but I'm still gonna go do me. And you can't do that.
right.
You can
Exactly.
do it in the sense of making sure everybody's taken care of. Like, all right, I got the kids, child care. All right, woo, woo, woo. They over so and so house. They're gonna be over here. They're gonna be here. They're gonna be doing this. All right, now I can go do my shit. But if you just, all right, fuck it, it's food in there. They can halfway know how to cook, but they'll figure it out. I'm gone.
And that's what it was, bro. You know what I knew how to cook growing up? Two things: French toast, eggs. That's it.
See?
That's all I knew. French toast and eggs. And one of them still got something to do with eggs.
Yep. All right. You'll need eggs for one of the items. So shit, yeah.
Right.
That's
Right.
crazy. Dog, that's how life is, man.
Yeah. So I believe that these moms need to just be better communicators, man. Like I would appreciate it more. I would appreciate the brutal honesty over all the bullshit. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And the bullshit is what built up resentment. You know what I mean? So moms need to just be more honest. I honestly believe that, like Shanina said, mother's job is to protect. I wasn't protected. You know what I'm saying? I was really pretty much just thrown to the wolves. So
Mm-hmm.
the wolves, what you think I'm gonna turn out being when I grow up?
You turn out to a wolf. You know what I'm saying? At some point, little monkeys, grow up to be gorillas
Exactly.
and be a little monkey forever.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
I just think moms need to just, when they lay down and make that decision to let that man unload in them, they need to be thinking more about everything else outside of their moment.
Mm-hmm.
And once they do that, they'll be better mothers. You know, everybody get lost in the moment. We didn't be with women before that got lost in the moment of just being reckless, you know,
Mm-hmm.
having unprotected sex. We didn't got lost in that moment and we understand it. But at the same time, we men, we all we do is plant the seed. They gotta let that seed grow. So at that point, if you about to let a seed grow up in you, you need to grow up in
Facts.
your mind and make the right decisions. That's what you need to be doing. You know what
Facts.
I'm saying?
Nah, facts. I definitely feel you on that, cuz I concur. Well, everything you just said.
What's
But
up, sis? How you doing?
sis,
Hello, everybody.
how you doing? What's happening?
Hey,
What's going
how-
on? We saw you went to a wedding.
Yeah, how was the wedding? How the wedding turn out?
the wedding was wonderful. We just got home. We were stuck in different states for a few days. Sorry, y'all. I was asleep because I was exhausted from trying to get home. Like we literally, and we moving into our new house, so we are our new house now. So I'm sorry, y'all.
Congratulations. That's what's up.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But yeah, we went to a wedding. Tired. The last 2 weeks have been a lot. And then, with airlines doing what they're doing, we were stuck at the airport Sunday from 7 p.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning. We still didn't make it home. We was able to get on the flight yesterday, but got stuck in Wisconsin and was able to just get home just now. So
That's
Wisconsin.
yeah, we had to fly to Wisconsin. My sister got stuck in Miami yesterday. Like it's these airlines. I don't recommend anybody travel right now because you never know.
Yeah, me and my wife is going to Chicago in a couple weeks for the 4th. Actually, we gonna take the train.
Please do. Me and Richard said that we was like we need to maybe take a train or something because flying right now is not looking good for anybody.
Well, that's a little cool 4-hour ride. You know what I'm saying? That's a
yeah.
cool. But for you coming down the way from Georgia, then you coming up here, ooh, that's
Well, we
about
don't mind that drive normally, but
that's about a good 19 right there.
Yeah.
no, it's not. It's actually not. It's actually an 11-hour ride, but we
No,
make
on
it about.
the train, so it's 19 hours
Oh,
because all them stops. You got to
oh,
make
well,
all
yeah, I definitely won't be doing that. Oh no.
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Bro.
We were just touching on the first topic about
Okay.
absent mothers, though. So,
Okay.
have you ever experienced that or seen that happen?
Definitely, definitely. So my mom was, like I said before, she was a teenage mom. So I'm not gonna say that she was absent, but she couldn't be a mother as a teenager. She was 16 when she had me, or pregnant with me. She had me at 17. So her parenting was not the best. I feel like she was learning, and she grew up with me, so to speak. And so I did kind of blame her for a lot until I got older and became a parent myself. I blamed her for a lot of things, and I had to understand that her parenting wasn't really parenting. She was growing up too. She was still a child, trying to be a mom, and had me. She fortunately, not unfortunately, but fortunately, had my other siblings way after me. Except for my sister, she had my sister right after me, which is the reason why she hid that pregnancy and then gave my sister for adoption. So I didn't grow up with my sister. I didn't meet my sister until I moved to Georgia 5 years ago, because she lived here and she found me. She
Mm,
found us, I should say. So I didn't grow with a sister.
man,
Huh?
that ain't God good. That's awesome.
God is good because I moved to Georgia
Story
and
though.
my sister had already been doing research. And then when she saw that I moved to Georgia, she was like, I think my sister live in Georgia. And she reached out. And I was here for 2 months and we've been rocking ever since. do everything together. You wouldn't know that we didn't spend our whole lives together. You would think that we've been together our whole lives and we just met each other 5 years ago. But which is the reason why I didn't know my sister or didn't have that. So it wasn't like she had 2 kids young. So for me, I feel like she became a better parent for my brothers because she had them so much later than she had me. You know what I'm saying? Me and my sister. So her parenting for them was better, and I did get jealous a little bit because the way she parented them and the way I feel like she parented me was different, and I didn't like it because I'm like, dang, they get the good mama, you know what I'm saying? And I got the bad mama. But getting older, I'm like, okay, my mama, well, she did the best she could, and she did a lot for me financially. She didn't love me the way I thought I wanted or needed to be loved. But that was her way.
Got you.
Yeah.
We all kind of experienced that in some way, because if you think about it, and like you just mentioned, giving your testimony.
Yeah.
Mom was a workaholic. When she worked at Kroger, she worked at Kroger for 20-something years. And around the high school years, when it was just me and her on her, when we was on our own, she worked a lot, and she worked during the day. So she would go to work at like 2:00, come home at 11. Shoot, I come home from school, I got all the leeway to do whatever I want. Like I used to take whip, go up to the high school, go to the games, park that boy right back, and it was over. Like I had a lot of leeway, man, and that's not on her. Like it was her fault.
Right.
It wasn't her fault that she was absent. That's just how her work schedule was. But due to her being a single, parent, these are the effects.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, thank God that my mom was, a sane mental and physical person to, raise me, or I'd probably been a wild child. I mean, I already had my issues because I was going through, my parents divorcing, and then my grandmother had passed. My grandmother passed, and then my parents divorced. And then it was just like, it was all over the place, man. I was just, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of male influence until I started being out in the streets and started hanging with older, gentlemen or whatever, friends or whatever I used to hang with. And that's how that happened. But other than that, I would have been a lost child, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Facts.
Definitely.
Important for the mothers to be on point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and go into our next topic, Cuzzo. You came up with this one.
Yeah, so I was just thinking about this, just I always had these topics off of just random thoughts. Or sometimes it'd be stuff I watch, other podcasts. But we're talking about now the effects of being raised off of our parents' traumas. So because they were going through what they went through and they became parents, they raised us off of their traumas.
Mm-hmm.
They went through. And it's really fucked up. And I think that's why a lot of us have issues. And I mean, generation, we have a lot of traumatized issues. Because for those single mothers who raised us, who may have daughters, the same ones, they may think like, all right, well, you know what? I went through this situation with a man, or I went through this situation with your father. So guess what? I'm gonna teach you the game, and I'm gonna teach you this, and this is what you're gonna do. So that's there's the independent grow up, which affects a lot of successful women to not be married, may not know how to be married, may not know how to be a wife, never taught how to be a wife. It was too busy focusing on being independent.
Right.
Then you got this for the sons. They don't know how to, women, I don't care. They can argue all day. Oh, we can teach a boy to be a man. No, you can't. You can't. You just can't. So now look at that. Now what's the effect of that? You have this mother, boom, Now they got to go to the streets to learn how to be a man, because pretty much you can't teach them. You can put them in positions to be a man, but you can't teach them, because not only do a boy needs to be taught, he needs to see it. He needs to see how to be a man. So you can't do that already. And you have, it's just so many effects of these onions got to peel back, man. I could be talking for that. But a lot of us are traumatized based off of our parents' trauma and how they were brought up. And so how do we go about these effects? Like, what do you guys think about the effects of this? Like, the reason why we are the way we are now because of our parents. Do you feel, I wouldn't say traumatized in a terrorizing way, but do you feel traumatized because of your parents or because of your parent and how they raised you?
I felt traumatized at one point, but I grew out of it. Like, I remember having this argument with my mom one day about me messing around with a bunch of different girls, right? And she tried to give me this speech about, you need to wait till you get married, Brandon. And I was like, you ain't wait. And she like, you don't know what I did. I said, well, I'm here, and you wasn't married to my dad. What we talking about? I'm surprised I didn't get slapped. However, I was preaching facts. You can't talk to me about something that, at the time, I felt as though you can't preach to me about something that you failed at. But you can preach your failures to try to, keep somebody else from making the same mistakes. However, at the time, I wasn't seeing that, because when she tried to have this conversation with me, I'm 17 years old, asshole, arrogant me. So I'm not hearing none of that until I got older.
Who cares?
And then, look though, I started seeing my son get all girly-fied about just all of a sudden, just, I got a girlfriend. Oh, this girl that. Like, nigga, slow down, relax. You just a kid. Be a kid. Enjoy being a kid, because this grown-up shit ain't where it's at for real, for real. You ain't gonna know it until you start living through it. So it wasn't until I had my son I was able to see where my mom was coming from. But 17 years old me,
I wasn't trying to hear that.
I wasn't trying to hear it. But, so of course, me not trying to hear it, I'm like, you didn't wait. You didn't wait till till you got married. I'm the effects of that. You weren't married to my dad. You was being a thought pocket. So stop talking to me about whatever you that you didn't. You know what I'm saying? But look what I ended up doing. Basically kind of making the same mistakes. Having kids with the wrong person. All kind of stuff. So it ended up being a trickle down effect. So I understood where she was coming from. But that's when I had to have that conversation, up until I had that conversation with my son. So it did traumatize me to a point where, because I felt like that was how I was supposed to move. Like, you can't tell me no different. That's how you moved. You fine. I'm gonna be even better because I'm me. You know, I looked at myself differently back then. And I always looked at myself as more strong-willed than my mom. I always felt like my mom was more weak-minded than the average woman. So I'm not like that. I got my grandmother's strength and my granddad's strength. So I'm about to be straight. Even if I am being a hoe, you can't tell me nothing. Down effect ended up having me down a bold road. So, hey, I got out of it. That's the most important part. Once I got out of it, I'm like, okay, I got to fix all this mess that I done made now. But I also, while I'm fixing my mess, I got to make sure my son know, hey, son, the way that I went ain't the way to go. You understand? So that's how I look at it. What about you, Nate?
I definitely feel like, I ain't gonna say her childhood traumas, just teachings or things that was instilled in her. I don't know. I guess because I don't actually know what was instilled in her. What what I think is instilled is like my son keep trying to call me out. Sorry. We can't. She's very secretive, and she don't like us to let people know things, and and she's very one way. Like I like different all type of food. I like to try different things. I'm very adventurous, right? I'm very spontaneous. My mom, on the other hand, is a person that, and my aunt, which is when I noticed it, I was like, oh, this came because I noticed it from my grandma while I was there last week too. I'm like, oh, this came from them being like they can't do nothing the way they cook is specific. The way my mama shut her trunk on her car, and she was yelling at my son when she took us to the airport yesterday. He shut her trunk on her car, right? And she got the button at the top. She like, you can't shut my trunk like that because it's a button. I'm like, but mine's a trunk. All trunk, you can just close it. The button's there for convenience. You don't have to use a button. But this is the way she like. I mean, there is one way. You can only do things one way. You can only cook one way. You can only do. She see everything from just the way she was taught. That's it. You can't see anything different. You understand what I'm saying? So she tried to teach me the same thing. Everything has to be decided, and it's this is the way it goes. You get what I'm saying? This is specifically the way it goes. However she said it goes, however it goes. And I was doing it for a long time. Like I couldn't tell. I got rich, and I'm like, no, that's the way it goes. No, that's the way it goes. Then one day I just woke up. I'm like, no, why does it have to be that way? Like, why can't it just be this way? And I had to start changing myself, like, because I start seeing that it was my mama. But like I said, recently I got to Detroit. And I was there and I was looking at my grandma and she was saying, wait, it go this way. You do it like this. And I'm like, why do I do it like that? Yeah, you can just do it like this. And then I did it. And she was like, oh, that worked. And I'm like, because you can do it that way, So
Having some technical difficulties there with our Wi-Fi, probably.
No, I think somebody keep trying to call. That's what's messing up the internet eruption, but it ain't no big deal. But
It's all cool, but yeah, I see where she going with it. I get it. I feel it.
yeah, everything don't have to stay the same way just because you was brought up on that way. And a lot of people don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had numerous conversations with my wife, like, hey, baby, I know how you was brought up. I get it. But there's this way as well. And it's not bad,
But that could be like a sign of control. You know what I'm saying? Having control issues. Like, nah, it's my way or the highway. So it's like that could be a little bit of a controlling factor. That's trauma. That's a little trauma. Because that's what she said. Who from grandma to mom. I don't know if she's taking on that same kind of characteristics, but I'm pretty sure it pops up.
Right.
Because in some aspects, dog, we do some things like our parents. And one thing that I do and I have done lately is I try to catch it. I'm like, damn, hold on, wait a minute. Or I think of something I did already, and I'm like, damn, that's some shit that my mom would do. Or damn, that's some shit my pops would do.
Right.
So catch ourselves, but yeah, that shit comes out all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody want to tap in and share their story?
Everybody can come on in, tap in, tell me your story, how y'all feel about the topics. Again, the topic is about absent mothers. That's what we talked about and discussed first. Second,
thank you very much. Thank you.
traumas and us raising them and the effects of how we live today.
Yeah.
So,
I was listening while I was waiting on y'all to tap me back in. But
go ahead. You wasn't done talking, so go ahead.
No. I was listening while I was waiting, and I heard you say something about they could be controlling. And you know what? I think that is true. Maybe somebody was controlling, and maybe my grandmother's past, like maybe my grandfather, not my great grandfather, my grandfather. My grandfather's a pastor, and pastors are very specific, on the way they live. And then they got divorced when my mom was about 11. So I don't know if that came from my grandfather being a pastor, being a specific way and being controlling, and he was military. So maybe that's where it came from because, like I said, it's not only my mom, it's my grandmother and my aunt. I see like the way they think of things. It's only one way. I, on the other hand, for some reason, I was the same way. Don't get me wrong. I was literally got richer, and I'm like, this is how you do it. Period. And then I started seeing that it could be a difference. So it could be a controlling, thing with wives like that.
Right. Most definitely.
Who we got? We got Flip Flops.
What's up?
What's
What's going on, Tina?
Hey y'all.
Hey.
happening?
So I'm calling in because what's happening because I totally agree with the generational curse. Like I'm breaking the shit out of my mother's generational coach from me. Yelling and screaming at my kids, cussing at them, spanking them. I totally had to break away from that too because that's how we grew up. And I know I grew up, I'm good, you know what I'm saying? But I could have probably been better if a lot of shit was more explained instead of just told to me.
Yeah.
Don't do this because. Stop doing that because. I suggest you do this because. Not, that's what the fuck I said, then that's what the fuck you do. You know, I probably would have done better for myself had it been more explained. Yelling, you know how your parents do, yelling and cussing and screaming all the goddamn time, giving themselves a fucking hernia and stroke all at one time. So I'm getting out of that. My children pretty much, it seems like they're running over me, but they're really just learning. At the same time.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to carry that on to your kids, and then your kids gonna think that, oh, especially if you had a daughter, that your daughter gonna feel the same way. She gonna be, oh, that's how mom acts, so that's how I need to act when I had kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I had to learn how to stop cussing out the cashiers and learn how to stop cussing out the people that want to return or go moving too slow at the store. Like I saw my mama do that.
Definitely.
Like she wanted to return a purse that she bought months ago, right? I mean, walked in the motherfucker with all her shit in her purse. It was like, threw the shit on the counter, like, can I get a bag? They gave her a bag. She was like, I want to return this. The lady like, I can't take that from you, ma'am. She like, oh, you gonna give me my money back and blah. I swear we was in there like 30 minutes. The lady was just like, here, let me just give you
you do it too much.
Walked out with her shit in a fucking store bag because she didn't want the purse no more. Okay.
I cannot.
So that's what I'm breaking. I'm breaking that. So yeah.
Feel you. That's
it.
Same here. I'm on the same thing because I've seen that same thing, and I'm doing things different. Like my kids, like people say too. My mom would be like, "You should do this to your kids," and I'm like, "No," because I realized that I didn't like something she did or that was happening in my family. So I don't do that with my kids. I got all boys, and I feel like I shouldn't be cussing to my sons, making they're men, they're going to be men, and if I talk to them any kind of fucking way, then that's how they're gonna think women's supposed to talk to them, and I don't want to do this to my fucking sons. My sons need to know that respect is given, and you have to. That's how you're gonna receive it. If you give respect, you receive it. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's just the way
exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. My sister got to break her shit too because she got all boys. She be motherfucker. This you see me, Nicole? You on this bitch? I see you. Yeah. She needs to break her shit off too.
Be the man.
But that's.
I don't know why you fuck with that girl. Why you fuck with that girl? And that girl is just like her.
Just like you. Just like you. Controlling, cuss your ass out, calling you all kind of names and shit, and you want him to stay with her. Then you want to fight the bitch.
Right.
But you train him to get you, bitch.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
He start dating your ass.
How about that? But that's all I wanted to say, guys. Thank you. Like topics.
Thank you.
Peace.
What is this? Man, that's
true.
Hey, listen, let me. That mean a lot because they watch. It's not how you talk to them. It's about how you talk to Rich in front of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.